You have been praying for the position, the title, the opportunity, the visible recognition that finally matches what you have known about your own capability for a long time now. And while you have been praying for that external promotion, something else has been quietly happening that you may not have fully connected to it. A different kind of promotion, one that does not come with a title or an announcement, but one that determines whether the external promotion, when it arrives, becomes a blessing or a burden. I want to talk to you today about that connection. Stay with me until the end, because what I am going to share about how character promotion relates to position promotion is going to reframe how you understand the timeline of everything you have been believing for. Drop an amen in the comments right now if you have been praying for a specific promotion or opportunity and wondering why it has taken longer to arrive than you expected. Like this video because this word needs to reach every chosen one who needs to understand the actual sequence of how promotion works. And subscribe to this channel because understanding this principle is going to change how you experience every season of waiting from this point forward. Let me explain the principle clearly because it is foundational to everything else in this message. Position promotion without character promotion tends to collapse under its own weight. This is not a punishment or an arbitrary rule. It is simply how stable elevation works. A position requires a certain capacity to sustain it well, a level of integrity, patience, wisdom, and maturity that allows the person holding it to handle the pressures, the visibility, and the responsibilities that come with it. When the position arrives before the character capacity to hold it has been developed, the position itself often becomes the thing that exposes and damages the person, rather than the thing that elevates them. This is why some people receive opportunities they were not ready for and watch those opportunities unravel painfully. Not because the opportunity itself was wrong, but because the character infrastructure underneath it had not yet been built. And this is also why other people, who seem to wait far longer than feels fair, often end up sustaining their eventual promotion with a stability and longevity that surprises everyone watching. The waiting season you have been in is not separate from your promotion. It has been the promotion, the character promotion that has to happen first. Let me walk through what character promotion has likely been building in you during this season. It has been building your capacity to handle delayed gratification with grace rather than bitterness. A significant position almost always involves some form of ongoing delayed gratification, projects that take longer than expected, results that are not immediately visible, recognition that comes slower than the effort invested. If you had received your promotion without first developing the capacity to handle delay gracefully, you would likely have struggled significantly once you encountered the inevitable delays that come with greater responsibility. This season has been building that capacity in you, quietly, through the actual practice of waiting itself. It has been building your ability to remain humble while still being confident. There is a particular kind of confidence that develops through actually waiting and persevering, a settled confidence rather than an anxious or arrogant one. People who receive position too quickly without this season of development sometimes carry an instability in how they hold their confidence, either collapsing into insecurity under pressure or overcorrecting into arrogance to mask that insecurity. The waiting season has been giving you time to develop a steadier, more settled relationship with your own competence and worth. It has been building your capacity to lead or serve people well, rather than simply occupying a position over them. Genuine leadership requires a depth of character that develops through experience, through navigating difficulty, through learning what it actually feels like to be on the other side of decisions made by people in positions of authority. The waiting season often places you in situations where you experience firsthand what poor leadership or poor treatment feels like. And that experience becomes part of what shapes you into someone who, when the position finally arrives, leads differently because you remember what it was like to wait for it. Drop an amen in the comments right now if you can recognize specific ways this season has been developing your character, even while you were focused on praying for the external promotion. Now, I want to address something important because this principle can be misapplied in a harmful way if it is not understood correctly. This is not saying that every delay in your life is because you have not yet become good enough or developed enough character. That misapplication can lead to a damaging cycle of self-blame, where someone interprets every unanswered prayer as evidence of their own personal inadequacy, constantly searching for the character flaw that must be blocking their breakthrough. This is not what I am describing. Some delays are simply about timing, about external circumstances, about the orchestration of multiple variables that have nothing to do with your personal readiness at all. What I am describing is a general principle, not a precise formula for diagnosing every individual delay. The point is not for you to spend this season anxiously interrogating yourself for hidden character flaws. The point is to trust that whatever legitimate growth is happening during a season of waiting is not wasted time, and to actually participate in that growth rather than simply enduring the waiting passively while resenting it. Let me offer some practical ways to actively participate in this character development rather than just waiting for it to happen to you passively. Examine your responses in moments of frustration during this season and use them as information rather than just venting. When you experience frustration about the delay, instead of only expressing that frustration, take a moment to examine what it reveals. Does it reveal impatience that would have been genuinely costly in a position of greater responsibility? Does it reveal insecurity that needs tending? Does it reveal legitimate grief about a genuinely difficult season that deserves to be honored rather than analyzed? Not every frustration is pointing toward a character lesson, but paying attention rather than just reacting gives you the opportunity to learn what is actually there. Practice the character qualities you want to be known for now in small ways rather than waiting until the position arrives to practice them. If you want to be known as someone who leads with patience once you have the title, practice patience now in the smaller frustrations of your current circumstances. If you want to be known as someone who handles pressure with grace, practice that now in whatever pressure you are currently experiencing, even if it feels disproportionately small compared to what you imagine the future position will require. Character is built through repeated practice, and this season offers you genuine practice opportunities, even if they look different from what you expect the final position to look like. Surround yourself with people who can speak honestly into your blind spots during this season. Character development happens more effectively in community than in isolation. Find people who genuinely know you well enough to offer honest feedback and create the kind of relationships where that feedback can actually be received without defensiveness. This is often one of the most valuable things a waiting season can produce, real relationships built on honesty rather than performance. I also want to speak to something about how long this particular kind of season tends to last. There is no universal formula for how long character development takes before position promotion arrives. It varies significantly based on the person, the specific position being prepared for, and the starting point of where someone began. What I can say is that character development, when genuinely engaged with rather than just endured, tends to have a natural sense of completion to it. There often comes a point where the lessons that needed to be learned have genuinely been learned, where the patience that needed to be built has genuinely been built, and at that point, the external promotion tends to follow relatively soon after.
If you have been engaging genuinely with this season, paying attention, practicing the qualities you want to be known for, building honest relationships, processing your frustrations rather than just venting them, you may be closer to that point of completion than the length of the waiting has made it feel. Father, I come before you on behalf of every chosen one who has been praying for an external promotion and growing weary of the waiting involved. I thank you for the character development that has genuinely been happening during this season, even when it was not always obvious or comfortable. I pray for continued growth in patience, humility, wisdom, and the genuine readiness for whatever responsibility is coming. I pray against the temptation toward anxious self-blame, the kind that searches frantically for hidden flaws rather than trusting the genuine process of growth that has been underway. I pray for discernment to actively participate in this season rather than just passively enduring it, and honest relationships that can speak truthfully into your blind spots along the way. And when the external promotion does arrive, I pray that the character built during this season will be sufficient to sustain it well, with stability and longevity, rather than crumbling under pressure it was not yet ready to hold. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. The promotion you have been praying for is tied to a promotion happening in your character first, not as punishment for not yet being good enough, but as genuine preparation for sustaining well whatever is coming. This season has been building patience, humility, wisdom, and the capacity to lead or serve people well, qualities that the external promotion is going to require in order to be a genuine blessing rather than a burden. Engage with this season actively. Pay attention to what your frustrations reveal. Practice now the qualities you want to be known for later. Build honest relationships that can speak truthfully into your blind spots. The character promotion may be closer to completion than the length of the waiting has made it feel. Like this video if you needed to understand the connection between character growth and external promotion today. Share it with someone in their own season of waiting who needs this reframe. And drop an amen in the comments if you are choosing to actively engage with this season rather than just endure it. The character promotion is happening. The position promotion is coming next.